Hi friends, I am back with another video in the series of various sections of Domestic Violence Act. Today we will be discussing about section 19, which is residence orders in Domestic Violence Act. So though it is a big section and it says a lot of things, I'll try to put it briefly before I take the questions which have been asked about it. So essentially the magistrate, while disposing any application, can restrain the respondent or any other respondent from dispossessing the complainant from the shared household. It can also order them to remove themselves from that particular household or a portion of that household. Additionally, it can restrain them from entering the portion in which the complainant is staying of that household. It can restrain the respondent from renouncing his rights in the shared household except as per the procedure established by law or the leave of that particular magistrate. It can direct the respondent to secure the same level of accommodation to the respondent. So the magistrate can order a series of orders under a single section that is called residence orders. Additionally, it can direct the local SHO or the protection officer to see that the order is complied with. So it can also additionally it can also make the respondent fill a bond that he will be paying the rent and making other payments for the accommodation which is provided to the aggrieved woman. So as we had discussed, section 17 explained shared household. Now section 19 explains what residence orders can be passed with relation to shared household or otherwise for accommodation of a aggrieved woman. So aggrieved woman cannot be left in a state of vagrancy or destitution. Certain arrangements has to be made for her stay. The arrangements can be made for the child of the aggrieved woman as well. Now there are a lot of questions which has been asked on this, and I'll try to take that. The biggest question which comes to me is that if the woman has no right in that, no legal right in the property, why such an order can be passed? Now the question why is answered because there is a stipulation, there is an act with regard to the same, and that is why such an order can be passed. And yes, it can be passed whether or not the woman has any legal right in the said property or not, as long as it was or it remains her shared household. An order in this regard that her residence should be secured can be passed. Now second question is that if the woman is staying in the same shared household, how can she demand that the respondent be removed from that particular household or a portion of that household? Now it is solely done that if there is any chance of any domestic violence reoccurring, the magistrate can make orders for the safety of that aggrieved woman and their children. And further, because if they stay in the same household, they will keep on disturbing each other, and to prevent that, such an orders can be passed. A question that if such an order has been passed, can the respondent sell his share in the household? No, after the order has been passed, he cannot do that without the leave of the magistrate or by taking appropriate legal remedies wherever in the whichever court it can. Now question comes that alternate accommodation has to be provided. So can a person or respondent say that I will provide alternate accommodation and not provide any right of residence in the shared household? Yes, this offer can be given by the respondent that he'll try to provide alternate accommodation of the same level, and he can also say that because there are other dependents staying in the same household, so it is better that this woman goes and stays in a alternate accommodation, but it is up to the magistrate to accept this offer or reject this offer and make appropriate orders. Now, another question which has come very recently, and it was related to the same, that if a woman is staying, for example, in a one-room accommodation, can she demand a three-bedroom accommodation? No. The only thing she can demand is same or similar level of accommodation. A question comes that how come SHO or protection officer get involved in this act while enforcing this order. So they come into the act by the because that is called an extension of the magistrate, or the powers of the magistrate. So if a magistrate has made an order, it is for the SHO or the protection officer to see that the order is being implemented. So these were few queries which I had been getting about protection orders, which I have tried to explain. If you have any other query which is not covered in this video, please write in comment section. I'll try to answer that query. If you have liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and share it to the maximum. Thank you very much.